Test, test. Okay. Oh, I need that. Hey, how's it going, man? Howdy, folks. My name's Dave. Welcome, and thanks for joining me for another Woodturning Wednesday. Excuse my voice for a moment. I kicked up a little dust, and that set me on a little bit of a coughing jag. But um, I'm coming to you a little bit earlier this evening. I have just a couple hours of sleep, so I wanted to start a little bit early while I'm still um, fresh, I guess, and I'll turn as long as I feel that it's safe. But I wanted to. Um, our turning club um, turns a lot of bowls every year for the Empty Bowls project. This year, our club will have turned over 500 bowls. I'm going to turn one this evening, maybe two. I've got a couple of pieces of timber that I'd like to um, process, and that won't take very long. Um, and then I'll start working probably on one of the other projects. But I wanted to get a few things out of the way while I'm not too tired. Uh, I prefer to err on the side of caution, and I will be the first to tell anybody don't turn when you're when you're tired. Mistakes can happen a lot more quickly and a lot sooner than you'd like. Same thing as any kind of machinery, whatever. Don't be operating it if you're under the influence or tired or what have you. You want all of your faculties about you. So again, that's why I'm starting a little bit early this evening. So I'm going to grab. I've got a couple of pieces here I want to um, process real quick. They're still kind of green, so I want to turn them into a shape that I want to dry. And this guy, actually, this will be another bowl, probably, most likely. So that'll probably be the first bowl. And then I'm going to take, I've got this piece of cherry. So I've got it ready to go to turn into a bowl, and I'm going to time this guy. I'm just curious to see how long that'll take, which means I need to have my phone. So I'll be right back. I thought I had it out here with me, but I don't. Where did I set that dude down? Whoopsie daisy. Oh, there it is. So groovy, man. It's another decent day out today. We're pushing around. I don't know. I think it was 37 degrees. It's going to start getting colder again. It is only February. This was a get your hopes up kind of fall spring, I guess. But I am looking forward to springtime rolling around. Okay, so I got my phone. I can use the stopwatch feature on it. Let's just go ahead and start working. This is a piece of mulberry. It is still, I think I'll flip this around. Still green. And I want to use this at some point for a box, I think. So I'm just going to turn the billet round and then let it dry. I need to get rid of this pith that's in there. And the pith, unfortunately, goes at an angle, but let's see. That should be, that's not exactly straight. I might need to move this guy. Although those lines are fairly straight, let's take it up a notch to there, and then, so I got a pith, and it's basically right there, and it goes to here. Oh, I missed it. So it goes at an angle here. And I want, that looks about right. So I'm going to have to take the cylinder down to this point rather than this point. That's going to take off, what, almost 3/8 of an inch extra on one side, but I really do want to create the cylinder, and I'll be able to use that later. What did I do with my glasses? They're on top of your head, Dave. Okay, let's make sure all this is going to clear. I don't guess I needed my center punch at the moment. Oh, whoopsie daisy, that's another thing I did not do. Okay, so I know that where that needs to go. Let's, where do I need to have this guy? There. I like to keep my quill as short as possible. The more it's out, the more it adds vibration to your turning. So I only want to have out what I need. Okay. So this kind of stuff I can do all day. One, because it's relaxing. It's easy. It's fun to watch the shavings come off. Two, because I'm using my body mechanics and I'm not fighting the equipment or the tool. And I'm just moving in the planes that my joints occupy. I want to be as comfortable as I can be when I'm turning and not trying to fight any of the process. I could take that down a little more. I don't want to beat my body up, man. I want to be able to do this for years and years and years. And the more that I use my body mechanics, the more it's like everything else is doing the work, and I'm just kind of along for the ride. Now, it's taking practice to get there, don't get me wrong. That is the secret sauce to all of this. Is practice, practice, practice. Okay, that guy's done. So set him up here to dry. Let's see, right there. And let's pull this guy in. Okay, so I've got another piece of this mulberry. I think it's mulberry. I like the color of this. I like yellow woods. I think I just like the yellows. I think they're quite pretty. And the more I get to work with different colored timbers, the less I have to use paints and stuff like that, right? I get to play around. All right, so I'm already at the point here, I think, where because I'm between centers, that's how I kind of roughed this thing out in the first place. Let's see where my pith is. Oh, look at that. I nailed it. Just roughing it out. So I don't have to worry about that. That is all right. I've got to get down to about there to get rid of this crack. And it'll just be a little bowl you can fit in your hand, but it'll be a bowl. All right. I should be able to get like most of this, so have a little 1.5-inch bowl, I think. Make sure I got rid of that crack. Okay, that's not a crack. Kind of looked like one though, but it's part of the figure in the wood. Looks like there's a little bit of crack there too, but it's not there. Once you get a lot closer, which is all right with me. Okay. Would be better if I could do this. Let's see. I think that's the guy I want. So I imagine it probably bears repeating that every turner is ultimately responsible for their own safety, and you shouldn't try anything that you're not comfortable with. Having said that, most of the stuff that I teach is not advanced tool handling skills. I'd say probably maybe 75% of it. So I work really hard to teach the safest ways to approach the material and best practices for turning, stuff like that. I do some, I guess, what I would call advanced turning tool handling, I guess. But it's one of those things that just kind of, in a way, comes along with the practice. The more you practice, the better you get at it. And I really want to be the best turner I can be. I want to be able to see these. I like making stuff. That's just it. I really like making things, and turning is a great way to get into that. And it doesn't hurt that you can make a living at it. Okay. Let's see. I think what I'm going to do, that might be kind of tricky, but I'll do it anyway. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make a round bottom bowl. Although I may change my mind depending on how this turns out. Bring that rim in just a bit. It's really, really nice yellows. And it looks like, well, it looks like it's also fairly well down. So I guess well, I got lucky. Let's just put it that way because I certainly didn't actively try to do this. Although I spent a lot of time actively trying to do it, so that I'm sure it's got something to do with the fact that I turned it out. I'm going to have a pretty well centered piece here, and I think it looks cool. Getting the X or the I, the H, whatever you want to call that, in the bottom of the bowl. When you're doing a side grain bowl. But I'm more of like how it looks. What's the grain doing? And yes, I mean I do try to get everything centered, and like this one will have that H in it or the I in it, right? Pretty close to being in the center. It's not exact, but it looks be kind of cool. A smaller bowl like that. Yeah, I'm gonna make this a round bottom bowl. I think that'll look really nice. And I don't think, yeah, I'll still have that white early wood in it. And because it's green, I don't have to worry about twice turning the roll. It's going to be out of shape, but I don't have to worry about it with a round bottom. It's just going to do its thing. And I don't have to worry about, fixing the foot later or whatever. There won't be one. Almost there. Let's see. I think that might be probably, maybe, I don't know, maybe a little bit better. Let's raise this up a bit. Okay. I got to remember I've got to pay attention to chat because I don't have the text to speech capability anymore, or at least for this setup. All right, so that's fitting the truck just fine. Let's take a look at the outside here. I think that I am. All set to do a little scraping here. Let's see. I think I will actually take the rim in a little bit more. Something like that. Groovy. All right. Now I can do this. Okay, there we go. Easy there, killer. And the next bowl I'm going to do with a glue block. Okay. Let's take this elbow poker guy out of here. Where'd you go, man? There you are. just about right. Yes. Nice. All right. Very cool. Very. I don't have to do any sanding in there. Cool beans. I wonder if I have a jam chuck that will just work right off the bat here. Probably not. Well, that was close, but no cigar. And it's okay if I don't. You know, that one might work. Well, yeah, it might work. Oh boy. Okay. I see this was green and now it's out of round. So, yeah, let's not use that one. Oops, went too far. All right, I'll do it up. Yeah, let's get closer than that, shall we? Is that gonna work? Come on. Don't see any splits happening. Okay. Cool. All right. Let's see. This actually needs to come up some. Wrong tool, Dave. Ooh, that's too tall, man. What the heck did I just do? Groovy. And we'll take some of these guys. Should have grabbed the engraver. Whoops, wrong drawer. There we are. Alrighty then. Uh-oh. Well, I got all kinds of those shavings, so if they fall off the lathe, they fall off the lathe. How's about right there? Set that aside, say right up there, because I will need it again. Alright, lots of these lovely guys. Oops, let's get rid of that. And that. Piece of bark and some, oh, yes, that is resin. We don't want that. There we go. Oops, bark. Hey, we don't want that either. Burnish that a little bit. There we have a bowl. Cool. All right. So let that one dry, and we're gonna bring this dude up, and this is the one I want to time. I'm just gonna crank a bowl out. I'm not gonna. My plan is not to talk. So once I get this thing set, that should come out a little bit more. always, well, not always. My preferred starting point is between centers. Because I got a lot more potential for possibility, I guess, would be the best way to put it. Start between centers is a lot easier to move things around, and if you say you locate or you uncover the feature in the material that you're working with that you want to make more prominent, when you're going between centers, starting off that way, yeah, it's a little far out. It's a lot easier to move things around, change, and plus doing multiple centers is kind of fun too, so you can move that stuff around a lot easier. Anyway, I just like starting between centers. Got a lot more control and a lot more possibility that opens up to you. So I know that this is going to be round. Let's look at the timber. We're going to go through the whole thing here, or at least this part. So when I look at something, I'm going to throw on the lathe. I want to see how's it look. That sort of looks like a split there, but it's not. Can't get any kind of fingernailing in there. That is, but it's spalting. I've got a split going right in there, about an inch. I've got a couple of splits. Yep, there's one right there. That one comes in, about an inch. But really, I'm going to be working in here, so I don't care about that. And it doesn't really matter to me. I don't normally like cut round bowl blanks, all that. I want the piece to be balanced. And with a round bowl blank, you lose that. You're stuck with the shape or the center or whatever that you're. So let's start between centers, and I want to go for the balance point. If I get on the balance point, I can get my lathe speed up. Do I really have to do that? No. Okay. I'm hoping that I also don't have to cut the corners off of this guy. Still too heavy there. How's it down there? Still too heavy on that side. Okay, good. Good. Now I shouldn't have to cut corners off. This is another piece of cherry. Oh, no, I lost it. Oh, that was the right hole. Okay. Oops, I came out of my. Okay, now let's go to there. So somewhere in there. All right, let's try that. So I'm just moving my timber up, in this case just in the 1/8 of an inch. I'm doing it from side to side, moving it slowly, inching it up to wherever its balance point is. I want to have it, free spinning, as free spinning as possible. So that's really close. I could just go with that, but let's. Come on. There it is. Okay, I'm going to call that the balance point. So that means I can start faster at a higher speed, higher rate of speed if I so choose. And I often do. I want to eliminate as much vibration as possible at the get-go, because it only gets worse from the beginning if you don't catch those issues as early as possible. Vibrational issues will not necessarily just go away. And there's often times that turn in a piece of green wood and there'll be a water pocket somewhere in the timber that changes the whole balance. But you still have to work with that. And sometimes it's when you're cutting into and you got a water pocket and you're cutting away wood on the other side, then you start getting vibration that way. There's no right or wrong way to address that particular issue. Whether you move the piece over to eliminate the vibration or whatever it is you got to do. Maybe perhaps adding, if that's a possible thing. I don't know, this is rotational, but adding some kind of a counterbalance weight on the other side, that would help. I've seen jigs though that they actually attach the wood to, and you can put the weights on the jig, and so that's a possibility. But anyway, I want to eliminate as much of the vibration before I even start as I possibly can. Make the turning experience nicer. The end result will be nicer because I will have a little bit more control over the cuts instead of bouncing around, and I don't get beat up. That's never a good time. Okay, so that all spins free. Let's move that aside. And I need to grab my phone. So we're all set to go. And let's go ahead. I don't know. I'm hoping my phone will stay. You know what? Is there? I wonder if there's a stopwatch on this kind of dude here. Clocks. Let's look at clocks. Maybe I have. Hey, look at that. I've got a timer right there. Stopwatch is what I want, though. There we go. All right, cool. So, let's see. Will this still work? Yes, very good, very good. All right, so I will start it off, and I'm not going to do a whole lot of talking. I just want to knock out a bowl, and we'll see how long it takes. Now, I will tell you, this has been an evolution. When I first started turning bowls, it would take me hours. But those hours were definitely well spent. A lot of good practice time. Okay, here we go. I'm just curious to see how this is going to go now. It's a good idea to shut your legs off before you move your banjo. I'm really hogging off some material. Again, don't do something you're not comfortable with. It does take sharp tools. A lot of stuff does take practice. Now we're starting to get into the territory of a familiar bowl shape. That split goes, hopefully it doesn't go too much deeper than that. We'll see. But whatever it is, man, I'll work with what we got. Okay, time for a sharp tool. How about that guy? I'm surprised this bark was really, really hard. Just kind of almost, I don't want to say splintered off when I took it off, but it was a lot harder than I expected. Okay, let's take a look at our splits here. Still got one, and that one's gone. So, oh, nope, not quite. Got a little bit there. But, see, the spalting that's starting to come out of this, that's cool. And so this is green wood, and I don't want to mess with. Man, I hope that goes away soon. Excuse me, I don't want to mess with cracks. So I want to get rid of them before it does have to dry. I've done a lot of bowls in the past where I put, glue the cracks and it looks cool and all that, but it's something that I've got to sit aside to dry. I don't have to monkey with it first. I want to get rid of all the issues that might make it destroy itself. It's just a very tiny bit there. And just a tiny bit there. So, what is it, 8-inch bowl-ish, something, 7? It's 7. It's not bad. Gotta make sure those splits are gone. That one's gone. That one, there's a ghost there, so maybe a little bit more. Yep, it does go deeper than I thought. All right. Oh, that's right. I was going to do a glue block on this guy. Too late now. Okay, so that's not a split. Very good. That's awesome. Now, this is going to be a finished bowl. If it was just going to be a rough turn bowl, this would be a lot faster. All right, let's get rid of that guy. I got kinds of shape. Oh, where'd the key go? Did I put it in the wrong drawer? May have. Well, that's no fair. That is definitely going to increase my time. Where the heck did the key go? Oh, there it is. Come on. Yes. Magnets are a wonderful thing. Or a magnet is a wonderful thing. can't see what the camera is seeing, so let's do that. Oh, nope, that's not what I wanted. Back there. Okay. I need to get rid of this elbow poker guy real quick so I can move my tailstock back and not jack on it. Jesus. I clearly need to find my reamer. Okay. Easy there, killer. A sharp edge. Let's change the camera. This is another thing that you should watch out for. So, caught a sharp edge. It's not bleeding. It didn't break all the way through the skin, but it happened really fast. So, let's do something about that sharp edge. There we go. Nice and even. And I think I'd like it a little bit thinner. Beautiful. Perfect. Okay. closer and maybe, yeah, nothing's rubbing. Okay. Oh, you know what? It's bleeding now. Didn't get any blood on the wood. Yep, a little bit right there. That's really nice surface, though. So that sharp wood did get me. It's all right. What was I gonna do? I was gonna do something, but then I lost the tool. There it is. Oh. And there we are. So I'm going to grab a Band-Aid really quick, and that's going to add seconds to my time, but that's the way it goes. Keep Band-Aids in the shop. There we go. And I don't think it matters if it's a wood shop or a metal shop or whatever, man. You gotta have the Band-Aids around. There we go. Just to keep the blood off the wood. And I want a fresh piece of abrasive. That's 150. There we go. Come on. No sharp edges. I want to hit that one more time. Okay. Did I have it? Yes, I had it right here. That is excellent. How quickly can I get the lid off? Slow is smooth and smooth is fast. Yes, I remember. Other side, there we go. friction drive. That'll do. And that will fit over it, yep. How is this discombobulated like this? What happened to the leather? Oh, leather, where did you go? Seriously? Alright then, I guess I'll grab this guy. Where the heck did my leather go? Most peculiar. Oh, there it is, right there on the other side of the lathe in the shavings. Come on! There. Blend it in, but I don't want to. Alright, so let's move this guy this way. Stymied. There it is. Not too tight. There. Woohoo! Didn't destroy the bowl any, so that's good. Let's grab that leather and that leather and a different jam chuck. That one is a little bit too round. That won't fit in there, but this will. Come on. Come on. Oh, Abatus. Hey, is this a speed run bowl? Yes. Ad break. It is a speed run blood nature's wood stain. Yes, my text to speech is not working. I have some newer equipment, but for some reason, and I haven't figured it out yet, and it may be that it's running on Linux and there's a compatibility issue. But I've changed this particular laptop over to Linux. And it definitely sped my computer up quite a bit. You know what? Let's cut that off. But it's not everything is ported for Linux, right? So um, fortunately, uh, come on, OBS software, Twitch, they have ports for Linux, so I can still do this. I'm testing this stuff out because I have another system, the backup to the backup, if I need it. I wanted to check this stuff out because, well, for one, it's a little more cost effective. Come on, you. If I can reuse this laptop and have it freshened up, so to speak, with an operating system that it can handle. It's a MacBook Pro 2011. It's 2011, and it's had a really good run. But longtime viewers will know this. But there's been some issues because the laptop has been it's just old. And so the software is not supported anymore, stuff like that. That's the way it goes. So no damage to the inside of the bowl. Just that was a little bit too round. But now I've got to find the center, because that no longer exists. So, speed run with lots of hiccups, apparently. Or a few, anyway, not lots. Just a few. Come on, darling. So, getting the. There we go. Correct center. Oh, you were so close. Oh, I see my leather has bunched up. That's not a good sign. Come on now. So hiccups. Yeah, I was going to. Well, I'm still seeing how fast I can turn a fully finished bowl, not just a rough turned bowl, because that I can do in a couple of minutes. Come on now. How close are you? I need to go that way. Nope. All right, let's go that way. That was probably the wrong way. Yep. So we'll go the opposite way, which also turns out was the wrong way. Oh, come on now. That wasn't that far off. I guess apparently it was. Not the wrong way. Oh, I might be going the right way finally. Come on. There you go. You just need to get the bottom running pretty true. Come on. The bottom of the bowl so I can cut that flat. Doesn't have to be perfect. I imagine the bowl is probably moved on me already anyway, since it is partially green. Hey, that'll work. That'll work. I'll take that. I think that foot is that foot. There we go. So I guess I need to cut that off because we can't really call it a time. You know what? I'm not going to do it that way. Oh, and I have one more thing to do. This. Hey. Darn it. Shoot. Got a bunch of garbage in my paste now. All right. Yep, it's just lots of hiccups. But you know what? I can honestly say that I'm sure some of this is from lack of sleep. I had a few hours of sleep. Oh, that's too loose. There we go. Which is why I started a little early. I lost. Damn it. There we go. Lost my center there. Okay, there's a bit. Doesn't have anything on it. It's nice. A little bit of this stuff really does go a long way. All right, come here, you. Come on. I think my compressor is live, so I can buzz this off. Out of the way, Pilgrim. Not with that one, though, with this one. 39 minutes, and that's with all the hiccups. So actually, I'm going to say it's closer to half an hour. And that's a fully finished bowl. Nothing else needs to be done to it, other than allow it to dry. So, and I keep working on that time, but it always, I think, it just continually actually comes back to bowls. Bowl turning is very, very, very foundational. And spindle turning is too, turns out. But bowl turning, a lot of stuff comes back to the things that you learn turning bowls. And this band-aid is just not sticking with it. Okay, so that's that bowl, and this bowl. I got two bowls. Yay! And let's turn this off. Oh, you know what? I forgot I had that handy. So I'm starting to get a little bit foggy. So I am going to wrap up the broadcast right after I add the signature here. The band-aid that won't stick. All right, there we have it. That's cool, man. That's a nice little spalted cherry bowl. It's going to empty bowls. And this nice little piece of mulberry. Little round bottom bowl. Well, let's drop all of them on the floor. Fortunately, there's shavings there. But yeah, nice little piece of spalted cherry. Let's do that. And wrong direction. That. Yeah, that helped a bit. Oh wow, man! I didn't even try that. That got really close to get the X is almost centered on this. It's almost. Didn't even try. There's the I or X or H, depending on how you want to look at it. H, X, or an I. It's really, really close to the center. Again, I spend a lot of time trying to work that out. And it's not like it's super difficult, but I don't like seek that out necessarily anymore. It depends on the piece of timber, but these two just happen to wind up being pretty doggone close to whatever that. I don't know if that's a holy grail or whatever. I hear a lot of talk about getting the H or the X or the I in the middle of the bowl, and a lot of people find that really groovy. And it looks nice. Don't get me wrong. It looks really, really cool. But I don't necessarily always use. That's not necessarily what I'm always looking for. Okay, let's get that guy off. I guess I can trash the Band-Aid here. All right, so this has been another nice little wood turning Wednesday. Thank you very much for joining me. I will be back again next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, 8 to 11 Eastern Standard Time. And thank you for tuning in earlier if you were able. I started the broadcast a little earlier because basically I had about 3 hours of sleep. And excuse me. And I don't want to turn tired. I'm starting to get a little bit foggy right now, so I'm glad I started earlier because I'm catching a few. So Abita says, "Oh yeah, I thought you usually finish later." Yes, sir. Yes, yes. Well, I missed a few apparently. Oh, so I got raided. Hey, far out. My son told me he tried to raid last night, and um or he told me he couldn't do the raid. We're here for the bowl movement. I love it. I love it. Timing is everything. Yes, I wish I had the text to speech working, because catching that when it came through would have been primo. That's a nice pun. Thank you very much. But yeah, normally I'm streaming 8 to 11 Eastern Standard Time. But you should always err on the side of safety. Don't drive tired. Don't operate machinery tired, or under the influence of mind altering substances, whatever they call that. Because it's just a lot more dangerous that way. Arrive alive. How's that? And you'll have many more opportunities to turn. Um, uh, but ultimately, I mean, you are responsible for your own safety. It's really up to you where that line is. But if you want to turn for a while, really, I would highly recommend being as safe as you possibly can be. Um, Anyway, having said all that, it's been another great wood turning Wednesday. Thank you very much for the support. Thanks for coming out, guys. Yeah, just as I started. Yep. Yeah, just as I started. Um, um, Sorry, I'm losing my train of thought because, like I say, I'm getting kind of foggy. Um, um, well, whatever that thought was, we'll let it go. Thank you again for the support. I apologize for anything to broadcast early, but I'm not. I don't want to be on the list of people that uh, he's one of those guys that does crazy shit, and we want to see stuff break. That's not this channel. It's not this channel. Everywhere I can avoid that, that's the game plan. So I hope you all stay friendly. Thanks again for joining me. I hope you enjoy the rest of your evening, and I do hope to see you next Tuesday and Wednesday, 8 to 11 Eastern Standard Time. Twitch Tuesday and Wood Turning Wednesday, right here with Dave. That would be me. So thanks again, folks. I'm signing off. Good night.